Hi, we are on the sidelines of the NVIDIA AI Summit here in Mumbai. We've just finished a couple of days of exciting discussions around what the future holds with AI at the core. We've discussed about agents, we've talked about vertical specific LLMs, and we've talked about how AI is starting to deliver value to enterprises around the globe. And to discuss some of these topics, I have two of the smartest people I know. I have John Fennelly, who's the VP of Enterprise Software at NVIDIA, and he's taken a couple of sessions which have by far been the best in the entire summit. And I have with me Soumya Rai, who's a lead architect at EXL, and she's architected and deployed AI solutions at multiple clients of ours. So I'm really excited for the discussion. I'm going to start with you, John. So Jensen, in his keynote, talked about agents and AI-powered agents as the next big thing in AI, right? And while that sounds cool, there's a lot of engineering architecture around that, which you are enabling. So I'd just like to ask you, what is it that is making agents usable, affordable, and powerful in the enterprise?
Sure. So agents, as you may know, are designed to take a query or a question or a task from a user and break that task down into multiple parts and then communicate with other agents to solve each of those parts and then bring it all together. And as you say, it sounds easy, but it's not quite that easy if you're not really sure what you're doing. So NVIDIA has put some investments into a number of technologies to support this. The first is what we call an NVIDIA NIM. So it's a NVIDIA inference microservice that allows us to create a container that has a model in it that's very high performing and easy to use. Secondly, we wrap around that the idea of an AI foundry. So an AI foundry allows you to take a customer's enterprise data, select the NIM that you want to use as a starting point, and then create a customer-specific NIM that uses that enterprise data. Still not agentic yet, though. The way to get agentic is we've created what we call an NVIDIA NIM Agent Blueprint. An NVIDIA NIM Agent Blueprint is designed to simplify the creation of agent-based AI teammates, if you will, and this provides all the information that an enterprise would need or a partner such as yourself might need to help a customer deploy an agent.
Excellent. I think that's very insightful, John. So Soumya, just taking that further, right? So you've been working with some of our largest clients, right? And you've been talking to them about agentic AI. So what are you seeing with them and what are the use cases that clients are talking to you about?
So there are multiple use cases, Gaurav, that we have been implemented. So for example, the autonomous web chats, the legal assist, where we have the junior legal assistant and a senior expert assistant, which can help us in deciphering the litigations and the impact on the businesses. And then we have the audit assist, where we are using the agentic RAG, which is basically extracting the information from the multiple data sources, converting the unstructured to structured data source, and then actually taking a next decision or triggering the next action depending upon the source data. So I think that we have implemented, which is significantly impacting our business on the ground. So these are the couple of use cases that we are observing. And I think the assist solutions are going to scale up. We have been exploring RAG recently, but I think the next step that we are going to explore in the assist environment is going to be the agent assist or the agentic RAGs as a next actions or the next implementation.
Excellent. So I think agentic RAG and RAG obviously a very exciting concept. The other discussion which we have had at the summit is around vertical specific or fine-tuned LLMs. And that's been a topic that we've also heard a lot from our clients who are wondering whether general purpose LLMs will deliver the value, right, versus actually fine-tuning it and making very specific LLMs for the industry. So I think, John, back to you on this, right? So there's, obviously there's data which our clients have, but fine-tuning has always been very costly and it's been time-consuming, and that's the fear, right? Or there's a fear of security. So how are you thinking about engineering and architecture to actually make that vision of vertical LLMs a reality?
Sure. So as I mentioned earlier, I touched upon this with our concept of an AI foundry. So an AI foundry, as I mentioned, allows you to take a pre-existing NIM that's based on an open source model and to fine tune it with customer data. So basically, think of it as a black box. We have enterprise data that goes in, and the output of that is a NIM. As you take that enterprise data and put it into the AI Foundry, if you don't have enough data, or maybe your data is limited, we have the option to also create synthetic data. And so creating synthetic data is fantastic. If you're not familiar with that, you basically ask an LLM to create synthetic data based on some prompts you give it. So you may give it 2 or 3 questions and answers, and then ask it to generate 100. You then take that 100, use another LLM to rank it. And then once those 100 are ranked, you take the top 10 of those, and you feed it back into the first LLM. And so you do this iterative process until you get really great synthetic data to support and extend your enterprise data. And then using our NeMo microservices, one of which is called Customizer, you can take an existing NIM and customize it with that combination of enterprise data and synthetic data. And at the end of the day, then you have a open source based NIM that is now customized for the enterprise data and the vertical in which you're looking to use it in.
Makes sense. I think that's very interesting. And certainly that's been a lot of conversations we've had with enterprise and clients as well. So now just pivoting to the third topic of value from AI. So Soumya, you've been at the forefront of delivering AI solutions, right? And you've also seen the journey about what are the engineering tweaks and advancements that we have to make to actually get to that value. So are there any stories which you would like to share with us?
Absolutely. So see, I think with the delivery, we have to maintain the trifecta of cost, accuracy, and the latency. And when we talk about the fine-tuning, the SLMs, I think the TensorRT, the quantization, and the pruning have been the pivotal aspects or the parameters that we have been working upon. TensorRT basically helps us in optimizing the performance, lowering the latency, and the quantization reduces the model size, which basically helps us in reducing the cost of hosting the models and without any loss of the accuracy. And along with the model pruning that we have been observing, which is where we remove some critical part of the parameters, so the operationalizing or the maintenance of the models becomes much more easier and better. So I think considering the trifecta, which is the accuracy, latency, and the cost, we have been implementing a lot of solutions which are around the inferencing optimization, the tuning optimization, and some of the frameworks that we have been utilizing in TensorRT, and of course the NeMo framework, which helps us in customizing and tuning the models as well.
And also, Soumya, when you did all this, right, what are the kinds of benefits that clients are seeing in the use cases?
Absolutely. So one of the use cases where we were really struggling with the accuracy, when we started, the accuracy was around 60%. But then working with the SMEs, reiterating over the fine-tuning, improving the fine-tuning techniques, we were able to meet with the 92% accuracy. I think one critical factor that we all have to, we do really value around this, the cost of inaccuracy. So what is the risk associated, whether it is high risk, low risk, and a medium risk, and how do we actually cater that? So understanding the risk with the business, mitigating that risk with the business has been a critical factor in terms of the successful adaptation of the solution with the actual operations and the teams.
Right. That makes sense. I think that's very insightful, Soumya. So just moving on to, one of the challenges that a lot of our clients have talked about is as they put more and more of generative AI use cases into production, they need a way to monitor, observe the solutions that are there in production to see how they are performing and to see if they're delivering value, right? So I think, John, I'll start with you. So just in terms of engineering and what NVIDIA is thinking about, how do you help clients solve that hurdle of better monitoring, better observability?
Sure. So it actually goes back to the way that we've designed the NIM, the NVIDIA Inference Microservice. So we've designed the NIM to be a container that is easy to manage and easy to observe using standard tools like Kubernetes. So we provide, as part of the NIM agent blueprints, not only the NIM containers themselves, but also we provide Helm charts. And so customers that deploy them, and of course AI ops and ML ops employees at those organizations are able to use the Helm charts to easily deploy, monitor, and then adjust if necessary the deployment.
Excellent. And then I'll just ask the same question to you, Soumya, right? So how are you helping clients overcome that hurdle of observability and monitoring?
Absolutely. So I think John touched upon the AI ops and the LLM ops part. So what we have done with multiple solutions that we have actually categorized monitoring into three aspects, three major buckets. One is the operational, the other one is the accuracy, and the third one is the drift. So now we are trying to monitor just not the data drift or the accuracy drift, but we're also trying to understand what is happening at the infrastructure level. How well my GPUs are utilized, how well my overall system is utilized. So I think that becomes very critical when we scale up. Right. Because with scalability, the cost comes into the play. And to optimize the cost, we need to understand where are the roadblocks. So that is how we are trying to implement. But this is a field which is growing every day. So we are still learning and we are trying to evolve.
Right. No, absolutely. I think that one we can all agree that AI is a field which is constantly evolving. Innovation is happening at probably the most rapid pace we've seen. So actually, I just open it up to both of you. If you have any last comments on what you've seen at the event, and if there's one thing that struck you from the NVIDIA AI Summit.
For me, it's my first time in Mumbai. I've really enjoyed my time here. I'm actually kind of sad that I have to go home after the event. I'm really enjoying like the people and the food, but the energy has been fantastic in terms of the number of people that have attended sessions that I've had the opportunity to speak with. There's still a lot to learn and a lot to understand about generative AI, but I can tell that Mumbai is ready to learn.
Yeah. And I also heard that, John, you were the most wanted selfie in the house.
I'm not quite sure about that, but thank you.
Thank you. Soumya, what about you? What's the one thing that you take away?
I think the collaboration, the kind of ease that NVIDIA has made it possible for us to integrate our on-prem solutions and how do we take it to the client. I think that has been phenomenal. We attended a GTC session with you, John. I think when we talk about the AI blueprints, agent blueprints, and how it is making the time reduce from POC to development and then to production, I think that is going to be a game changer. So that's one thing that I'm definitely taking away.
Absolutely. So thank you, Soumya. Thank you, John. I think we would all agree that generative AI is going to live and die by the strength of engineering, right? Yeah. And so I think this has been a very insightful conversation and we look forward to more going forward.